Hey there, how are you? It's me, Alanda, and it's me unscripted, unfiltered. Unfiltered. Yeah, it's unfiltered, right? Sometimes, tongue twisters. I just sometimes can't talk. You know, what you're going to do. Anyhow, it's not in the morning. This is kind of, well, it's what time? It's 6:30-ish. Oh, it's Chalupa. Do you hear little clicky clicks? He's coming over here to say hi to Mama, and he's just too big to get on Mama's lap. I think Tamale just walked over here too. It is just doggy love. Doggies loving Mama. Anyway, this is my non-fancy channel, not like the Recovering Hunbot. My primary channel is anything like really super fancy or anything, but I tend not to do fancy things over here. It's just me talking to you, and that's, about whatever's on my mind, okay? That's really just it. And today I have a kind of spooky tale. I just kind of decided to do this spur of the moment. So, I threw together something a little bit fun for you because we are in October and it's a spooky time. And are you ready? I did something fancy for you. Are you ready for it? Here it goes. So what did you think? Spooky madness. Okay, here's the deal. The song Spooky Madness is by Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. I love Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. And I knew I couldn't play the song or anything, but I'm like, you know what? I can call this series Spooky Madness and tell you guys how much I love that song. It's really fun. So I hope you look it up and listen to it because it's just, they do kind of like swing music and I love that sound. And I mean, they're really fun. I saw them a few years ago here in concert. Where were they? Crap. I can't think of the name of the place. Do you ever do that where it just goes right on out the window? Well, it did. I don't think it's coming back. But anyway, it's a place in downtown Houston that I went to, and I took a friend of mine to it, and I think she kind of enjoyed them. Anyway, so today I did film another video, and then I wrote my friend David Brer. If you don't know, when I first got into the multi-level marketing type stuff, I connected with the 3 people in the world who know the most about it. They're seriously experts and all that kind of stuff, have I guess been involved in legal cases and stuff. Yeah, Doug, because he did the Nexium case for Rick Ross, and Robert's testified a lot. And I know that David's been contacted by a lot of people for stuff, and I can't remember what he's testified in or if he has, but I know. Anyway, so I wrote him to let him know about this rabbit hole that I went down because dude's been doing, stuff about multi-level marketing for decades. So I'm like, this is what I'm looking into. And it's just, like I've told you before, it's just cast of characters, and it's just, the story just keeps getting weirder. And so David sent me something, and it was about the top. I mean, I had seen this, but I hadn't seen this particular clip. And it's like, oh, I just got another piece of the puzzle for this person that I'm doing this first story on. But I really think it's going to be a much bigger series. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know, maybe have a playlist about international MLM or something like that. So I might have 1 or 2 that I'd need to put in that playlist already. But I'm really thinking that that would be appropriate because let me tell you this, digging into these people, I mean, there's some oh, hi Chalupa. There's some mafia connections. There's a lot of kinds of different crime. I mean, it's to me, as I look at it in the international level, it's like it gets scarier and darker and stranger. And that's why I guess, because, I have a love for true crime also. And I'm like, okay, this is beyond diffusion of that, because it's not just the typical murder type stuff, because now literally there's oh, if you just heard a ding, it's from my computer, and just deal, because I'm not fancy. I'm not going to edit that shit out. Anyhow, so nobody else post anything. Let's hope. And yeah, I'm wearing a snood. whatever this is. I think it's from the 40s. I kind of like gave it a go. I did something else a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, so the story that I'm trying to tell before I tell you the spooky story, there's just, it's just so much darkness, and it's just so much scummier and slimier. It's like you get off of the U.S. territory, because, you know, things pretty much started here in the U.S. with Amway and everything. But you get outside of that, and it's like there's some cray people out there and taking things at a whole next level, and maybe like 100 different levels up above of what I'm normally, you know, dealing with. And I think that's what intrigues me. It's like, okay, now I want to know more. I want to know more about this cult. And this cult seems to possibly have a connection to a specific multi-level marketing company. Ooh. And it's just like, oh, I'm so fascinated by this stuff. So fascinated. And, you know, there's no book written on this stuff. I can't just pick up a damn audio book and just listen to it. No, your girl's over here hunting here, reading this, reading that, finding a YouTube video that has some kind of sort of relationship, talking to David, leaving comments on Behind MLM. And no one has responded to the one that I made on a particular article, but I think there's some people that can help me. Talking to a couple of people from Behind MLM, but over on Twitter. And, you know, like looking for some intel, basically, which I did get a little bit of intel for an article that I then had to translate into English because it was written in, I think, Dutch. So, I mean, these are the things I'm going through. So, I mean, it's a very twisted kind of a way. And so it's because I've been doing all of that. I thought, you know, what if I do some kind of a story, a myth, a legend, or whatever from Romania, you know, where Dracula's from, but it's not the story of Dracula. It's something else. And like I said, I'm not fancy. There's not going to be any B-roll or any of that. I'm just going to basically pull up the story and be reading it to you. And I'm going to tell you right now, this happens to me all the time when I write scripts and stuff and I film my anti-MLM stuff. I screw up all the time, and there has to be multiple takes. Well, your girl's not doing that. So if I screw up, and I will, reading something, I'm just going to screw up, and I'll probably just laugh at myself. And you're just going to have to deal with the fact that, you know what, I am just not doing all that editing shit over here. That's just not happening. It's just me talking to you. And oh, I don't have coffee. I do have my limoncello, which thanks to Peter Mon, he kind of turned me on to this. Well, he did turn me on to it. And then my husband found it. At first, my husband brought home just the lemon water. I'm like, no, it's limoncello. There's a difference. And with the limoncello, it has kind of a little like cream flavor, but it's not exactly like cream soda and sparkling water. But, you know, it's really growing on me. Then I have some orange water too. And I'm trying to drink a ton of water because of the iodine that went into my body yesterday from the CV scan, which my leg is feeling slightly better, but not great. It's still, there's a lot of pressure. It hurts. I mean, it just hurts like hell. I'm going to get lipstick all over this. And tasty. So very tasty. Anywho, so, oh, and I do want to say, you know what? I don't know if you have come over here from the Recovering Hunbot, my primary channel, because, you know, I am such the YouTube star, you know, not even 6,000 subscribers. I'm such the YouTube star. And over here, I can't believe I have, what, 106, 107 people that subscribed over here, which cracks me up, which I just love. And thank you so much for anyone spending any kind of time with me, listening to me yabber. Is just, it really tickles me. It totally tickles me. Chalupa's over here wanting mama love some more. I think I need to find, do you like scary movies? Because I do. Ooh, that was a line out of Scream. Do you like scary movies? Does that happens at the beginning of it, doesn't it? Chalupa, you're not coming up here. I know, Chunky Monkey, you're not coming up here. Tamale Wally, where are you? Why are they dancing? Why are they dancing? But they are. You're going to hear click, 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 click. They're dancing all around me. Okay, let me get this story. Oh, I guess I am going to edit in one thing because that little surprise I made for you. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. Your willingness to listen to me yabber about whatever the heck it is I'm yabbering, and, you know, not fancy, not scripted, not, I mean, just over here, just shooting the shit. You know, that's just basically what I'm doing. And, you know, It's kind of cool. It's really cool that anybody will listen to me. I mean, who would have thunk? Okay, now I've got to find which one was it, because it's not like I have a book on this stuff. And I was like, oh, and I'm going to probably, I'm going to, man, I'm going to screw up saying some of these names. I just know I am. Oh, well, you know, what can I say? Now, I wish it was a little bit darker outside, but truth be told, I just want to kind of go cuddle up in bed soon because of my leg and everything. So that means I need to get this done before the sun goes down. So there's that. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Dang it. Dang. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. All right. Are you ready? Are you comfortable? You have like a little drink or something? Are you in a comfy chair? The comfy chair. That's Monty Python. If you don't know Monty Python, the comfy chair. Whenever my husband says something, oh, also he'll say something and he'll literally say shrubbery, and I'll have to go shrubbery, the shrubbery, because it's Monty Python. I can't help myself. All right, you ready? Okay. I see. I gave you some time right there to notice that. See how considerate I am. I mean, come on. All right. The mysterious treasures, skeletal remains, and nymphs of Cioclovina Cave. And that, I don't know if I do not come at me if I'm saying this wrong. I know that I am. Just chill and relax. Let it go, because this is not serious over here. We're just having fun. Bada boom. Okay. Of all the myths of Romania, this may be one of the most mysterious. Deep in the Carpathian Mountains of Transylvania, over rivers, streams, and beyond a waterfall, lies the Cioclovina Cave, a cathedral-like home to tombs, mysterious Scandinavian and Mesopotamian treasures, skeletal remains, nymphs, and an unimaginable amount of bats. Ooh. We have what bridge is it here? We do have a bridge here in Houston where bats come out at night. There's another one in Austin, and I'm not going to remember the name of which bridge it is that bats come out to, but that one's bigger than the one here in Houston. Anyway, I digress. Okay. Archaeologists have concluded that this may be a subterranean temple to nymphs dating back 3,300 years ago. Among the treasures found were women's bronze and Mesopotamian and Egyptian glass jewelry, Nordic amber beads, and horse riding gear left in 3 places alongside pottery and sacrificial offerings. But how on earth did all of this end up in a remote Transylvanian cave? Ooh, I don't know. Well, without getting too scientific, scientists believe that Transylvania was part of a global trade route some 3,000 years ago, and that these items were stored at a different location then, washed into the depths of the cave with seasonal flooding. Okay, cool. But what about these nymphs? The whole trade thing, I can get behind that. When I was an anthropology graduate student, see, I'm like digressing, but I'm going to go back to the story. I did teach at the Center for American Archaeology for a summer, which was, it was a gas doing that. And that had to do, there was the Mississippian culture and the woodland culture. There was a fusion there. I worked on the EV site, and I taught high school kids how to do archaeological excavation methods, and also, writing research and stuff. We had a good time. So this whole thing there at Evie, there would be stuff like, you could tell that was from the coastline, which Evie is located in Illinois. And so not exactly by the coastline. So you can tell, trade stuff by looking at these and analyzing the remains, which is really, really, really fascinating. Anyway, I digress. So I find it very interesting of anything when we look back in time and figure out, trade routes and everything. A nymph, by definition, is a mythological spirit of nature, imagined as a beautiful maiden inhabiting rivers, woods, or other locations. Homeric texts describe these earth spirit connections in the Odyssey. At the head of the harbor is a long-leaf olive tree, and near it is a pleasant shadowy cave sacred to the nymph called Naiades. And again, in another location in the Odyssey, which I'm not reading the Roman numerals, get over it, cold water flowed down the rock above, and the top was built an altar of the nymphs where all passerbys made offerings. Blue glass beads, amber beads, and bronze were female jewels. Pair that with the bones of sacrificial animals, and you have yourself a site of worship of a female deity. I'm not sure if it's true, but it's mostly definitely cool. And I think that is, I'm always, okay, if you don't know this about me, my entire life, I've always been fascinated by belief systems, specifically religions. Hence, I've studied, anthropology, sociology, and I'm so fascinated about why people believe what they believe. And I think that's also something that interplays for me when I do research in multi-level marketing, because even though I was involved in it, it's like all of that, but it's like, okay, how are these things playing in on our belief systems, and how are they being, used against us? So I'm always fascinated by different deities of different cultures and the myths behind things, and how there's this thread across cultures that, never came in contact with each other, but they'll have some very similar type myths and stuff. And no, I'm not thinking because, the flood's true and all of that. That's a whole different topic. But I just find it interesting that human beings seek to explain things in a similar way. And it's always fascinated me, just has. So I wonder if you enjoyed that story, if you thought it was a little bit interesting. I mean, it's not exactly a legend or anything. It was just something kind of cool to talk about. And I wanted to do something a little bit different and kind of fun, because it's, October and it's spooky madness. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I really do appreciate it more than you'll ever know. I mean, again, the fact anybody wants to list it, the fact anybody came over to this tiny little channel from my other channel, I mean, it slays me. And it's just very, very flattering. And you guys, you leave the kindest, sweetest comments. And I just love seeing what you have to say. It absolutely makes my day. It's a pleasure just being here and just sharing weird little things that are on my mind. And so hopefully, because I know a couple of you guys want to hear about my Barbies, so I will tell you my traumatic Barbie story. And at some point, I need to order another Barbie. I have one in mind that I want, but it's finding it and for a price that I'm willing to pay for it. That's a different story. But anyway, I'll have to get them out and be able to tell you, like the year they are and what they're called, and, what I did with them as a little girl, like what I can remember about them, because I'm getting the Barbies that I played with. I have this one, I don't remember what she's called, but she has this mod little flip. For some reason, when I was a little girl, I always marked that one. That was the mom for, I don't know why. I don't know. I just was. That's just what I did. Anyway, again, thank you for being here and just listening to me babble about whatever. Have a fabulous day wherever you are. And remember, you're beautiful and I love you.